So Tristan went to ask for the hand of Isolde to King Mark, and the king was happy for this request, and her mother was the one who was really happy, and she wanted, right, King Mark to love her daughter, to love her daughter. So she made a magical potion. A magical potion, it means a drink, a magical drink. Any two drink from that potion together, they will fall in love. And she wanted to tell her daughter that you have to drink it together with what? With King Mark, right? When you arrive to England. But she put it into the luggage of her daughter, and she forgot to tell her daughter that this is a magical potion. It is not a juice, right? And you have to drink it what? To drink it with King Mark, with King Mark. So what happened? Tristan took the caravan of the new bride to England. On the way, right, Isolde wanted to be hospitable, so she offered, right, Tristan for a drink. And what was that drink? It was the magical potion. So you will find both of them, they fall in love, right, behind their own what? Their own will, because of the magical potion, because of the magic. This is, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the Wagner, right? I'm talking about the original legend, And therefore, they started, both of them, to cheat the king, even after, right, after the marriage of her marriage to King Mark. King Mark discovered the whole story, and he was really shocked. His wife is cheating him with his own nephew. Tristan couldn't stand staying in England, so he escaped. He escaped to what? To Ireland. There, right? And طبعا King Mark kept what? Kept as Isolde in his house, right? And he did not ask her to go to her father again, because he doesn't want to go into war again. So in Ireland, you will find that the Tristan got married to another woman. Her name is Isolde of the White Hands. Isolde of the White Hands. She was a rich woman, and he was protecting her property. He was her own knight. One day, while he is fighting, right, for her own rights, he was fatally injured. He was fatally injured. And he knew that there is no one who can treat him and heal his own wounds except the best doctor. And who is the best doctor? Is Isaac. So he called, he went to his bedroom and called upon an old friend. And he asked him, I want you to go to King Mark, and I want you to tell him that I am dying. And the only one who can give me life, give me good treatment, is what? Is it Tristan? Is Isolde, I'm sorry. So I want you to ask Isolde in order to what? To save my life, to save my life. And I will be waiting for you here in my castle, if which is looking up on the sea. And if she is coming, right, I want you to raise on the boat a white sail. And if she is not coming with you, I want you to raise a black sail. Who was listening to the story? It was his own wife. His own wife was listening, and she got jealous. How come he is still in love with what? With Isolde the first. So his friend went to King Mark in order to bring Isolde, and his wife sat beside him, and she told him, you sleep, right? And I will be sitting on what? On the window, waiting for, right, the boat to come. So every time he used to ask his own wife, Is there anything coming from the sea? She used to tell him, empty and waste the sea is. Empty and waste the sea is, which means that there is nothing coming from what? From the sea. Right? Before he dies, a few moments before he dies, right? He asks her, right? Is there any boat coming? And there was a boat raising a white sail. So he said, yes. So he asked his wife, what is the color of the sail? She said, black sail. So he died. He died at the time she arrived. I mean, at the time Isolde arrived, right, at the place of Tristan, he died. So this is the story of Tristan and Isolde. What can we understand? That, okay, resurrection, life, rebirth cannot come on the hands of sinners. This is what he wanted to tell us, exactly like the story of the Fisher King. That salvation only comes at the hands of what? Of the pure hands, the pure hands. And sinful love is one of the, right, the last sins that is going to bring destruction. Nothing but brings destruction. So, right, sinful love brings only death, brings only death. So this is the story of Tristan and Isolde. Well, right, one of the, in the opera, we will take a quotation. We will take a quotation.
Doctor, can you mute all, mute all because yeah.
سكر المايك لو سمحت كده يا حماد. بتول مطر. بتول مطر. بتول مطر. سكر المايك. Right, I'll remove you. Anyone who opens the mic, I'll remove them. Remove. Well, so in Wagner's opera of Tristan and Isolde, right, while the sailor is bringing Isolde to Tristan, while the sailor, right, on the ship, he was singing the following song. He was singing the following song, right, which is, of course, Wagner's opera is in German, not in English. So he was singing "Frisch with der Heimat zu, mein Irish kind who whilst do," which means fresh blows the wind to the homeland, my Irish child, where do you linger, right? Which is actually a song sung by the sailor who is bringing Isolde to what? To Tristan. This song is taken from Wagner's opera to represent the sinful love that brings no resurrection, right, inside the poem. So this will be part of what? Part of the poem, right, which is this song, "Fresh blows the wind to homeland, my Irish child, where do you linger?" In other words, that these are a representation for the wasteland, right, which is actually not be resurrected, because the one who is bringing salvation is a sinner, is a sinner. The Hyacinth Girl. Hyacinth Girl, the word hyacinth is a kind of flower in front of you. And it has a representation for masculinity. And it represents the physical love. And if there is a girl who is called as Hyacinth Girl, it means that she is a bad girl. But this is a kind of a polite, right, description for what a one who works in right bad physical job. So the Hyacinth Girl is a bad name for a woman. This name is right that the second girl after Mary Larish he is going to meet is going to be the Hyacinth Girl, right? And I'm asking myself, my God, what makes Tiresias to go and to a Hyacinth Girl? It seems that Tiresias himself is a sinner. And even if he finds the Holy Grail, even if he finds right salvation, we will not be saved. Why? Because he is a sinner. So the Hyacinth Girl will give us an idea that the one that you are waiting for to bring salvation will bring nothing, because he is as sinner as Lancelot, So the Hyacinth Girl is another name, another woman that Tiresias is going to meet, all right, in Germany, right, after Mary Larish, and therefore, right, it would be, right, a kind of emphasis that Tiresias, the one who is seeking the salvation, is not actually seeking a salvation, right? Why? Because he is a sinner as well. Madame Sosostris, another character that Tiresias meets inside the poem. Who is Madame Sosostris? Madame Sosostris is a fictional right character, right, in a novel for someone called Aldous Huxley. He wrote a novel, and that novel is called The Chrome Yellow. And Madame Sosostris is a character in the novel The Chrome Yellow, which was written by Aldous Huxley. And what was her own function? An Egyptian, right, oracle, an Egyptian fortune teller. She is a clairvoyant, which means a fortune teller. And she uses the tarot cards. Tarot cards, a kind of cards used in order to see what we call it, the fortune of anyone else. يعني بتضرب الودع زي ما بيقولوا المصريين، بس مش بالحجاره بتضرب الودع، بايش؟ some cards. These cards are called the tarot cards, a group of cards. They are used for fortune telling. So Tiresias, instead of going into a long journey for the quest of the Holy Grail, the quest of salvation for the 20th century, he goes to look for the Savior where? At Madame Sosostris' place. He went to Madame Sosostris to see whether there is a Savior or there is not a Savior. He's making a shortcut. وقعد ادور حالك واطلع من بلد لبلد وايش اللي في الغلبه؟ بروح لمدام سوسستريس بتقول لي اذا في ولا ما فيش، واذا في وين هو. Right? So he goes to Madame Sosostris to see his fortune. Actually, his fortune is completely related to the fortune of the 20th century. So she opens for him 8 cards. Each card has a meaning, And these 8 cards are mentioned inside the poem, right? And the profession of Madame Sosostris at the beginning of the 20th century, it was illegal profession. Illegal, it means that if she was caught by the police, she will be jailed. So we'll find Tiresias, who is supposed to be the prophet, the seer, the blind seer who knows everything, right? Goes to another fortune teller to see if there is a savior or not a savior. This is very ironical. Looking for the savior, right, in the illegal profession of fortune telling. Well, so she opens the cards. Now, she opens 8 cards, but the 9th card does not open. Let's see the first card that she opens. It is called the drowned Phoenician Sailor. The drowned Phoenician Sailor. This is the drowned Phoenician Sailor, or some they call it Kings of Cups, right? Let me tell you the story of the Phoenician Sailor, right? Phoenicians are very well known that they are the first sailors on earth. الفينيقيين اللي احنا منهم هم أول تجار على الأرض، أول من عمل السفن في التاريخ الإنساني. انتقلوا من ساحل فلسطين إلى كريت وإلى قبرص وعملوا إيه؟ And they were very well known as being, right, the traders. All what they cared about is money, trade. And they are called men of no land. Men of no land. Why men of no land? Because their land is are their ships. And what kind of a life they were leading? They were leading a life of loneliness, a life of what? That they live alone and they die alone. No one knows whether they are alive or they are dead. Why? Because, right, they are men of no land. So the drowned Phoenician sailor, which means that this is the first card. Your card, it is indication about what? About the civilization that we are leading. So it is a civilization of the Phoenician sailor who is drowned, dead under the water, right? And therefore, we have connotations about our what? Materialism. The connotations of materialism of the civilization, of no commitment to a certain land. A man of no land, estrangement, lives alone and dies alone, right? So this is, right, as if she is telling him, right, your civilization is a materialistic civilization. Its only commitment is to money. You are not having principles, real commitments. You are living a kind of everlasting estrangement. You will live alone and you will die alone. The second card that she opens is the Belladonna. The Belladonna, or some they call it the Queen of Cups. What is a Belladonna? An Italian word, right? Italian word taken from the Latin language, and Belladonna means a femme fatale. Femme fatale, it means a woman who is fatal, a fatal woman, right? Fatal woman by her own temptation. And it is a name also, right? Belladonna is a name of a poisonous flower. This poisonous flower is actually, it looks good, but by the time you touch it, you will die. So, and here is Belladonna. This is the second card, as if, right, that this civilization is a civilization of Belladonnas. So men are like the drowned Phoenician sailor. Women are Belladonnas. Women are, so, he's very gloomy about the description of men and women in his own poem, right? The third card, right? Or actually, he gives more details about Belladonna. What is that? One of the descriptions that he gives to the Belladonna, which is the women in the 20th century. He says, here is Belladonna, the lady of rocks, the lady of situations. The lady of rocks, the lady of situations. The lady of rocks, unfortunately, it is actually a painting by Leonardo da Vinci. For whom? For the Virgin Mary. So a picture, a painting, right, which is for the for the Virgin Mary, and it is called the Lady of Rocks. How come Belladonna, who is the tempestuous woman, the poisonous woman, is compared to what? Compared to the Lady of Rocks and the Lady of Situations, as if he is indirectly saying that even the Lady of Rocks in the 20th century is a Belladonna. Even كمان مرة أعيدها. Even the Lady of Rocks in the 20th century, it means that the Virgin, Mary the Virgin in the 20th century is a Belladonna, expert in situations. Ugly, he's an ugly man. It refers to lust and passion. So Belladonna refers, all right, ironically, she is described as the Lady of Rocks, which is a painting by Leonardo da Vinci, referring, هي الصورة قدامكم. هذه الصورة هذه اسمها ايش؟ Okay, اسمها the Lady of Rocks, which is Mary, Queen, Virgin Mary with the angels, right, is becoming a Belladonna in the 20th century. So the Lady of Rocks in the 20th century is a Belladonna, and she is an expert in situations or prostitution. Reference to what? To prostitution. فاهمين؟ والله شكله أنا بتكلم لحالي ولا إيش الحكاية؟ Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Say yes, say no.